Well, hey, everybody. Thanks for joining me. It's Steve Belkey, the pastor of Grace United Church. I'm in Northampton, Mass. And good to have you with me. So we've spent the last few weeks in the book of Hosea. And I encourage you, if you have a Bible, I encourage you to read the first two chapters of Hosea. If you don't, download an app and read it. It's right after the book of Daniel, if you're in a paperback Bible. It's Old Testament, but it's gospel. And in Hosea, God likens his relationship with his people, Israel and the church, to marriage. So there's Yahweh's wife, there's Christ's bride, we're also his body, we're his church, we're his children. There's just so many metaphors for our relationship with God. And it just goes to show how our faith is deeply relational, just how it's meant to be. So God's complaint in Hosea is that his people love other gods. And so we'd call it idolatry, but God says it's far more relational, far more emotional than that. So in Hosea 2:2, it says, contend, for she is not my wife, and I am not her husband. Let her put away her harlotry, her repeated sexual sins, and her adultery. God's complaint here is that he loves us and we don't love him. He loves those who are in a relationship with him, and he wants us to be his people. He wants us to receive his love, but we often love other things, other gods. And again, we might call it idolatry, but God says it's just way more personal, way more hurtful than idolatry. And he calls it adultery. That's hard. It shows how he feels, though, and that's what he's trying to express, is how he feels about you. When you or I turn to anything other than God for your needs, for what he alone provides. And so Hosea 2:5, for she said, I will go after my other lovers who give me my bread and my water, my wool and my flax, my oil and my drink. And so, again, God's real complaint is his people. We often love the false gods that everybody else loves. We look to all the other things, the politics, and everything else that everybody else trusts, what our unbelieving friends look to, for meaning and life and purpose. And sometimes, we trust and praise and give ourselves to these things. And so one of the things that God is going to do, he says in Hosea 2, if you're in there, well, all those things that she loves that he gives her, but she attributes to other gods, he's just going to stop giving them to her. She trusts them. Hey, let your counterfeit gods meet your needs. Let them take care of you if they love you so much and you love them so much. And so he's going to cut her off. And you might ask, well, why would he do that? Is he judging? Is he angry? And let me just add, there's no spite involved. There's no hatred. There's only love from God our Father. And most of us don't have our Bible open, so let me just read Hosea 2:7. And in Hosea 2:7, God says, she will seek her lovers. She'll rely on her other lovers, the gods that she trusts, but she will not find them. He's going to cut her off from them. So none can deliver. He's not going to cut her off from them. He's just going to cut her off from him. And when she's looking to anything else, when we're looking to anything else, they can't deliver. Why would God do that? Well, he explains why. He goes on to say that then she will say, I will go to my first husband, for it was better for me then than it is now. This is God's goal for you. It is to return to the Lord who loves you, to find in Christ all that you need, to know that even the things in this world that you rely on, he supplies. You look to your job, you look to the government, but he's the one who's in charge. And so worship him. He's saying, hope in him. He's the one. Trust God to love you and to meet your needs this way, in his timing, in his way. So that requires humility. So for the believer, all of life, all of God's actions must be seen in the context of this relationship, his love for us, his goal for you to return to him, the relationship that you have with him. So everything that you face, every hardship, every good thing must be seen through the lens of God's best for you. Not only his compassion, and grace and love, but even his intervention, even his discipline, even the hard things that he allows or even brings into your life. It all works for this goal, that you return to the Lord, to your husband, and trust his provision, so that you love him, so that you can receive his love and you can love him, for the grace that he's extended to you, for the love that you're experiencing by trusting him. So may you be blessed. May you look at everything that's going on in your life as through the lens of a God who loves you and will do anything to return you to him, including cutting you off from the things that you love and the things that you kind of idolize or whatever. He'll cut you off because he wants you. He's that good. I know it sounds like, well, he's judging. No, he's not. He's loving. May you receive God's love today. May you walk with Jesus Christ by faith today. Okay, thanks everybody. Good to have you here with me. May God bless you.